Marcus Aurelius warned about these emotional black holes 2,000 years ago. Modern science proves he was right. Here's your survival guide for toxic relationships. 1. She's always the victim. Imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table, sunlight streaming through the window, sipping coffee with a woman named Linda. She's got a warm smile, but as she starts talking, you notice something. Every story she tells ends the same way. She's the one who got hurt. The cashier at the grocery store snapped at her for no reason. Her old friend of 30 years stopped calling because she's jealous. Her ex-husband? Oh, he was the worst, always letting her down. At first, you lean in, feeling a tug of sympathy. Life can be tough, right? You've been there too. Maybe a neighbor wronged you or a co-worker took credit for your idea. But with Linda, it's every single time. Months pass, and you're still hearing how the world's against her. You start wondering, is everyone really that bad, or is something else going on? My buddy Jim fell into this trap once. He met Linda after losing his wife, thought she just needed a kind ear. But soon he was her full-time cheerleader, nodding, agreeing, until he dared suggest she might have misread a situation. Suddenly he was the bad guy too. Research shows folks who always play the victim often crave control. It's like they're directing a movie where they're the star and you're the supporting cast. Marcus Aurelius, a wise old thinker, once said, "You've got power over your own mind, not what happens out there." In plain words, you can't fix her story, but you can choose how much it pulls you in. Here's what to do. First, listen, but don't jump in to save her. Let her words sit there. Second, ask yourself, do these tales ever change? If not, step back a little. Maybe see her less. Keep your chats light. Third, focus on your own peace. Don't let her storms shake you. What's a time someone's drama wore you out? How'd you handle it? Share your story below. I'd love to hear it. The lesson takeaway: life's too precious to carry someone else's baggage. Next up, we'll talk about a woman who can't live without a little chaos. Stay tuned. How do you keep your calm when someone's always complaining? Drop your thoughts in the comments. 2. She thrives on drama. Picture this. It's a quiet Saturday evening, the kind where you're finally settling in with a cup of tea and a good book after a long week. The phone rings. It's Ellen, a friend you've known for years. She launches right in, "You won't believe what happened at the hair salon today." Before you know it, a tiny mix-up over her appointment has turned into a full-blown saga. Tears, raised voices, and a vow never to go back. You try to calm her down, but by the time you hang up, you're the one frazzled, and she sounds oddly chipper. Ellen's the type who can't sit still unless something's stirred up. A missed call from you becomes proof you're drifting away. A peaceful dinner turns into a debate over nothing. It's like she's got a match ready to strike whenever things get too calm. I knew a guy, Hank, who dated someone like this. One night they're watching TV and she picks a fight over a sitcom joke. Hours later, he's apologizing for laughing. Studies say some folks get a rush from chaos. It's their way of feeling alive. Seneca, a thinker from way back, said something like, "When emotions take over, we stop seeing straight." Ellen didn't want peace. She wanted the spotlight, and Hank was her audience. So, what can you do? First, don't dive in. Let her storm blow by without chasing it. Second, take a breath and ask, "Do I need to fix this?" Usually, the answer's no. Third, keep your own calm. Maybe limit how often you pick up that call. Ever had someone turn your quiet day upside down? How'd you get through it? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. The lesson? Takeaway? You don't have to star in anyone else's show. Keep your piece front and center. Coming up next, we'll look at a woman who knows just how to tug at your guilt. Don't miss it. What's your trick for staying steady when drama comes knocking? Share it below, I'm all ears. 3. She uses guilt to control. Imagine you're at the diner with a woman named Carol, the kind of place where the coffee's strong and the chatter's easy. You mention you're skipping her card game night to catch up on some rest. Nothing big, just a quiet evening. Suddenly her face changes. She doesn't argue, she just sighs, looks down at her plate and says, "Oh, I get it. I thought we were close." That little twist in your gut, that's her magic trick. Carol's got a way of making you feel like you've let her down without her even raising her voice. Next thing you know, you're cancelling your plans, showing up to her game and wondering how you got there. My pal George ran into this with her. He'd say no to a last-minute favour, like driving her across town, and she'd go quiet, drop a line like, "I guess I'll figure it out alone." Studies show guilt hits us hard. It lights up the same brain spots as a stubbed toe. George started bending over backward, skipping his fishing trips just to dodge that heavy feeling. Epictetus, an old wise man, once said something like, "Real freedom's about running your own life, not letting someone else steer it." Carol wasn't asking for help. She was pulling strings and George was dancing. Here's how to handle it. First, notice that tug when she sighs, pause, and don't rush to fix it. Second, ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I feel bad? Be honest. Third, stick to your choice. Say it kindly but firm, like, "I can't this time, but let's plan something else." Ever felt that guilt creep in with someone? How do you shake it off? Drop your story below, I'd love to hear it. The lesson takeaway: your life's yours to steer. Don't hand over the wheel just to ease someone's frown. Next, we'll meet a woman who's missing something big when the chips are down. Stay with me. How do you stand your ground when guilt comes calling? Share your wisdom in the comments. I'm listening. 4. She lacks empathy. Picture yourself on your front porch, rocking in that old chair you love, sharing a tough day with a woman named Ruth. Maybe your back's been acting up, or you just got word an old friend's not doing well. You're not looking for a fix, just a listening ear. But Ruth barely looks up from her knitting. "Oh, that's too bad," she says, then flips the talk to her leaky faucet or how the grocery clerk shortchanged her a nickel. It's like your words hit a wall and slid right off. I knew a guy, Sam, who saw this clear as day. After his brother passed, he opened up to Ruth about the ache he felt. She nodded, said, "Yeah, tough times," then started griping about her car's oil change. Sam sat there, feeling more alone with her than he did by himself. Life's taught us all that hard days come. Research says we lean on folks who get us to pull through. Marcus Aurelius, a thinker with some years behind him, once said, "Don't waste time wishing people were different, just be the good you want to see." Ruth wasn't there when Sam needed her, not because she couldn't be, but because she didn't care to try. So, what can you do? First, notice the pattern. Does she turn every talk back to her? Second, test it. Share something small, see if she listens or brushes by. Third, if she can't meet you halfway, ease back. Spend your time with folks who sit with you in the quiet. Ever had someone miss your hurt? How do you handle it? Tell me below. I'd love to know. The lesson takeaway: surround yourself with people who feel with you, not past you. Life's too short for half-empty company. Next up, we'll spot a woman chasing all the wrong things. Stick around. Who's been there for you when it counted? Share their story in the comments. I'd love to celebrate them with you. 5. She's obsessed with appearances. Imagine you're at a neighborhood barbecue, the kind where the air smells of grilled burgers and laughter floats over the backyard. You're chatting with a woman named Diane who's decked out in a sharp blazer and shiny new loafers, even though it's just a casual get-together. She's got a big smile, but her eyes keep darting around, sizing up the scene. You mention your old reliable pickup truck. Nothing fancy, but it gets you where you need to go. Diane nods, then launches into a story about her cousin's brand new SUV, how it's got leather seats and a fancy dashboard screen. "You should see it," she says, really makes a statement. Later, she's bragging about her new kitchen remodel, granite counters, top-of-the-line appliances, while glancing at your simple plaid shirt like it's not quite up to snuff. It's not just talk, it's a quiet nudge that what you've got isn't enough. I knew a fella, Pete, who got tangled up with her. Pete's a solid guy, worked hard, built a cozy life with a little house and a garden he tended every weekend. Diane came into the picture all charm and sparkle, but soon Pete noticed she cared more about how things looked than how they felt. She'd push him to trade his truck for something flashier, hint that his place needed a bigger deck to impress the neighbors. One Sunday, they're at a diner, and Pete's proud of a raise he'd earned, years of sweat paying off. Diane barely blinks, just says, "Oh, that's nice, but my friend's husband just got a corner office." Pete started feeling like he was running a race he never signed up for, always a step behind her next big want. Studies show folks hooked on appearances often tie their worth to what others see, not what's inside. It's a chase that never ends. Epictetus, an old wise soul, once said something like, "Real richness isn't about piling up stuff, it's about needing less." Diane didn't get that. She was always looking for the next shiny thing, and Pete was her prop in the show. Now let's talk about what you can do if you spot this. First, pay attention. Does she judge you by your stuff, not your heart? Maybe she comments on your watch instead of your kindness, or your house instead of your laugh. Second, hold steady. Don't let her nudge you into chasing things you don't need. Tell yourself, "I like my life as it is," and mean it. Third, set a boundary. Keep your time with her short and sweet, like a quick coffee instead of a long dinner. If she can't see past the surface, shift your focus to folks who do. Think about your own life. Ever felt pressured to keep up with someone's show? How'd you break free? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Here's a step-by-step way to handle it. Step 1. Next time she brags, smile and say, "That's nice, but don't bite the bait. Keep the talk light." Step 2. Remind yourself what matters to you. Maybe it's a morning walk, not a bigger TV. Step 3. Spend an hour doing something simple you love, like fishing or baking, and soak in that quiet joy. What's one thing you treasure that money can't buy? Share it below. I'm curious. The lesson? Takeaway? Life's sweetest moments don't come with a price tag. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Coming up next, we'll meet a woman who can't ever say she's wrong. Stay tuned for that one. What's a simple joy you'd never trade for flash? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to swap stories with you. 6. She can't admit she's wrong. Imagine you're sitting across from a woman named Marjorie at the local cafe, the kind of place where the pie's homemade and the booths creak with character. You're swapping stories over coffee, and you mention a mix-up at the hardware store. Thought you'd grabbed nails, but they were screws. You laugh it off, no big deal. Marjorie, though, launches into her own tale. She swears the cashier overcharged her last week. You point out, gentle as can be, that the receipt you're both eyeballing shows it added up right. Her face tightens. "No," she insists. "They always try to pull one over on me." You try reasoning. Maybe it was just a busy day, but she doubles down, saying you're taking their side, making it personal. Suddenly a simple chat's a standoff, and you're the one feeling off balance. I knew a guy, Ed, who lived this with her. One rainy afternoon, they're fixing a leaky faucet together. Ed suggests turning the water off first. Common sense, right? Marjorie snaps, "I know what I'm doing," and keeps twisting. Water sprays everywhere, but when Ed mops it up, she blames the old pipes, not her call. Ed tried talking it out later, calm as could be, but she twisted it into how he's always criticizing her. Studies say folks who can't own a mistake often guard a shaky sense of self. Admitting fault feels like cracking a mirror. Marcus Aurelius, a wise old voice, once said something like, "If someone shows me I'm off, I'd thank them. It's the truth I'm after." Marjorie didn't see it that way. Being right was her shield, and Ed was stuck, carrying the weight of every clash. So how do you handle this? First, spot the pattern. Does she dodge every oops with a detour? Second, don't push, lay out your side, then let it rest. Arguing just feeds the fire. Third, decide what's worth it. If she can't bend, lean toward folks who can. Here's a step-by-step. Step 1. Next time she's stubborn, say, "I see it differently," and leave it there. Calm, no fuss. Step 2, take a breather, maybe a walk around the block to clear your head. Step 3, spend an evening with someone who listens, not defends. Feel the difference. Ever dealt with someone who'd rather fight than fix? How'd you get through? Share below. I'd love your take. Think about this. When's the last time you said "my mistake" and felt lighter for it? Tell me in the comments. I'm all ears. The lesson takeaway? Life's richer with people who grow, not just win. Choose company that lifts you, not locks you in a tug of war. Next up, we'll talk about a woman who treats your time like it's hers to toss. Don't miss it. What's a time you owned a goof up and it paid off? Drop your story below. I'd love to hear how it turned out. What about you? Have you had a moment like this in your life? Drop it in the comments. I'm excited to read your experiences. From the stories and wisdom woven through this content, a few key lessons stand out that hit home for anyone who's seen a few decades pass. Life's too short to let others drain your peace. Whether it's someone who always plays the victim, stirs up drama, or can't see past their own reflection. The real treasure isn't in what others think of you or what you own. It's in keeping your heart steady and your time your own. Marcus Aurelius once hinted that happiness comes from what you hold in your mind, not what's handed to you. For us older folks, that means letting go of guilt trips and shallow chases. Focus on folks who listen when you're low, not just when you're loud. You can't change a soul set on being right or running the show, but you can choose who sits at your table. So take a quiet moment today, maybe over coffee or a walk, and ask, who lifts me up, who pulls me down? Then gently shift your energy toward the good ones. That's not just living, it's living well, with the clarity only years can bring.